It is the Minnesota Twins' turn for their season preview for the 2020 season. So, let's do it. But before, we'll start off with, like in the other ones, start off how they finished last year. Last year, they went 101 and 61. They were 40 games above 500. First in the AL Central. They lost in the ALDS to the Yankees. Which it seems like they lose to the Yankees every time they make the playoffs. I think, what was it, actually 13 times? They lost 13 straight playoffs games to the Yankees. 16 altogether, but the other three was the 06 ALDS against the A's, I think. But goal for them this year is they're going all in on the playoffs, and hope to God they don't face the Yankees. Hopefully they just don't face the Yankees, because if they face the Yankees, history shows they're going to get swept. So hopefully they don't get swept this time if they face the Yankees. But history's shown that if they face the Yankees, they're going to lose in 3 games. Or 4. 3. I don't know why I had a brain fart there. Key additions that they got in the offseason. I mean, they got Kenta Maeda in a trade with the Dodgers. So that's a nice starting rotation arm. They need another starting arm because other than Barrios and Odorizzi, at that point, they re-signed Homer Bailey. And they got Dobnik as their number 5 right now. So they're kind of lackluster in the 3-4-5 hole. So that's why they got Maeda to be their number 3. Which that's a nice solid number 3 in Maeda. Good, solid pitcher. They also got key big third baseman Josh Donaldson. So that's another guy who can hit 20 homers. It seems like everybody on that team can hit 20 homers. Or at least 15. Sure seems like it. That's how it was last year. They got Rich Hill, who's a nice starting arm. So hopefully he can come in and play and be a nice number 4 behind Maeda, because they signed him in free agency, so that'll be good for them. Big lefty too. That's the thing with Hill. He's big lefty, I think. So that'll be nice to have a different type of have a lefty in the rotation instead of pretty much all righties. And they also got Alex Avila in free agency. This is more of a bench move to, if Garver needs a day of rest or something, they can throw Avila in and he'll still be. It's not a complete waste getting Avila because he's decent. Not as good as he once was, but a nice veteran bat that you can sub in there if you need to. Because of not Avila, Mitch Garver's going to be the starter on that team. Key losses. To get Maeda, they got rid of Brusdar Gutierrez, their, I believe, top 3 prospect in their minor league roster. So that's going to take a tough bullet to swallow. But if they make it further in the playoffs, especially with Maeda helping, then it's no big deal. It might hurt their future down the road, but I don't think they really care about the future right now. They're trying to win now, so that's what they're doing. They also lost C.J. Cron and Jonathan Schoop to the Detroit Tigers. That one's going to be big because Schoop's a nice second baseman who has pop. He can hit the ball hard, hit the ball far. Cron, they didn't really need him anymore because with Josh Donaldson playing now, they moved Miguel Sano to first. So Cron was kind of an odd man out. He wasn't going to DH. So he was just, he wasn't needed anymore. And with Schoop at second, they got Luis Arez, who had promised last year. And they said, all right, we're going to start you at second and see how well you do. So that's what they're doing. I think stuff to look for is see how, piggybacking on the free agents, is how's Donaldson and Maeda going to do in their first year in Minnesota. I think they'll be okay. I think Donaldson, I think he'll be okay. Probably 25 plus homers, probably, because you got that short porch and left. It's not that far to hit it to left. Especially if you hit Oppo, it's not that hard. But I think both Donaldson and Maeda will be fine in their first year in Minnesota. There might be struggle points with them, but that's usually everybody in the when they go to a new team. But what is going to struggle is Miguel Sano at first. Now, he didn't want to play first base, but Sano said, "I'll do it for Donaldson." He's really hesitant about playing first, but he said he'd do it for Josh Donaldson, which is a nice team player right there, team moment, saying, "Hey, whatever I need to do, I'll do. Even though I don't like it, I'll do it." And it's going to be a hard adjustment for Sano to go to first, because I know he's played a little bit of first, but it's going to be quite interesting to see how well he holds himself, how well he fields, because that's going to be a big problem, is probably his fielding at first, and probably if he's got to scoop one up out of the dirt, it's going to be some rough patches with Sano at first. I think some players to look for. I think Buxton's going to have a good year. He's always entertaining in the field. One of the fastest players in the league. I mean, pick your poison. I mean, freaking Nelson Cruz is probably going to hit 40-plus homers, probably 30-plus homers. Max Kepler's probably going to have not a bounce back year, another breakout year, continuing on what he did last year. Eddie Rosario's a nice stalwart in that in the lineup. I think Arez might do better this year, having essential full-time playing, not having to worry about Jonathan Schoop taking his job back, and see if Mitch Garver can do what he did last year with the huge power bat in the middle of that lineup. And how's La Tortuga going to do? When he gets running on the base paths, he's always a sight to see. And I mean, you got the bullpen. I mean, they got Tyler Clippard, they got Sergio Romo, Taylor Rogers is the closer. Trevor May is going to be a nice setup, man. So that bullpen's looking really good. It's just, I think, for my guess for Minnesota, is they're probably going to win the division. Probably 90-plus wins this season. I don't know if they'll win 100, but at least 90-plus. Just like I said at the beginning, the only way they make it further in the playoffs I see is not to face the Yankees. Because if they face the Yankees, history shows they're going to lose. And speaking of history, reason I had a tough time going back and forth with the Twins on my guess for them is because every year they make the playoffs, they take it downhill. They downgrade. They don't do as well as they did the previous year. So I'm hoping they buck the trend this year, and they usually miss the playoffs. So I'm hoping they buck the trend this year. I hope they finish first in the Central, in the AL Central. I think they will. I mean, they got the talent. It's just, can Baldelli in his second year of managing the team keep the guys' motivation up to play the full 162-game schedule? I think he can, but that'll be something to see. That's the end of the video. Let me know what you guys think about the Twins. Do you think they're going to miss the playoffs by a couple games, maybe a wild card team? Do you think they're going to outright win the division? Who to look out for? Am I missing somebody? Am I overlooking? Just let me know what you guys think about Minnesota's chances for the 2020 season. Press the like button, subscribe down below, that'd be greatly appreciated. Share this video with all your friends and buddies, and I will see you guys in the next video.